This is Suburban On Air and Cohen in the City. Here is Mike Cohen.
Well, what an honor it is for me to be here with Joan Chen. The Festival de Nouveau Cinema has her film Montreal, My Beautiful. You are a renowned actress. You are the star of this film, and it's absolutely superb. So first off, congratulations on the role.
Thank you so much, and nice to meet you. Nice to talk to you, Michael.
Yes. So this movie was very touching. First of all, it's about a married woman who comes here from China with her husband and with her children. She's here for 14 years. They own a dépanneur, and of course, you know what a dépanneur is now. You probably didn't before you filmed. And she has kind of a secret that she's repressed all of her life. So tell us a little bit more about this character that you play.
Feng Xia is her name, and she's from northern China, from a very traditional background. She has repressed her desires for the entire life and has built a family which she's devoted to. And when we meet her, we will find out that she will slowly fall in love with a beautiful young lady and having her last chance at being herself once with a big sacrifice.
Well explained. So first off, this movie, and again, I say that the name Montreal, My Beautiful, because it is a really beautiful, touching movie. I was so, I think a lot of people could relate to issues, whether it's same sex or whether it's just marriage, the challenges of marriage and, unhappiness and how do you deal with it. This was filmed. Was this your first time in Montreal?
Filming the film was my second time in Montreal, but my first time was decades ago and very short few days in winter. All I could remember was just white and freezing.
Yeah.
But the summer that I spent here was lovely.
So how did this role come to you?
Xiaodan, the director, who approached me about, I would say, at least 3-4 years ago. Then she had to try and get the funding for almost 3 years, and stuck with her because I felt it's a very good character, a very complex character with deeply buried desire, volcanic, explosive desire being deeply, deeply buried. And eventually in the film, it'll erupt. And so I thought it was a very good character. I mean, at my age, I don't actually encounter too many great characters.
Yeah.
And this is a character who's an immigrant mother. I could identify with that very much, to try to fit into a world that was alien to her and to fall in love with her environment because she fell in love with a woman.
Yes. So in your career, have you ever had to perform a series of intimacy scenes like that? Perhaps with a male. Have you ever had to do it with a female actress?
No, that's my first time. Oh well, actually, I did some in a little known film called Wild Side, with Anne Hesh. That was, but not, I think not as much as this one.
Okay.
Even with male, I didn't have to do intimate scenes as much.
Right. So, what do you say to people who are watching this film? Do you think there's a lot of people, particularly people who are immigrants, who may have repressed their sexuality because of where they live? It wouldn't be accepted, and they're gonna maybe some people are gonna come out, if you will, after seeing what your character does.
I don't know. I can't be responsible for their lives.
Yeah.
But just desire to be free at least once in your life,
Yeah.
to be free to be yourself. That's not only just sexual orientation. It could be anyone. It could
Yes.
be anything. I mean, for me, myself, I long for freedom. And you always, when you look at someone's resume, you think you know someone, but truly it is the secret that they keep. That is who they are. And so we find out the secret that this woman keeps, and we find out who she is, and the risks that she has to take, and the sacrifices she has to make, and price she has to pay for just that one beautiful, intoxicating summer.
So this movie is in French. There's some Chinese spoken. It's subtitles. You speak French throughout. What was your French like before you started this film?
Zero. And
Wow.
it's still pretty much
You were
zero.
very good.
um, yeah, so about 2 months before we started shooting, I started to learn my lines.
Hmm.
So it took me, I really worked hard on these lines
Yeah.
to try to make it my own and try to understand. And it's a wonderful challenge.
Yeah.
I wish I could sustain it and truly learn the language. I love the sound of it,
Yeah.
and I love to be able to express something. And I think your whole language is so big part of a culture.
Yes.
And I think when I speak Chinese or when I speak English or when I was speaking French in the film, somehow there is a subtle change in
Yeah.
you because
Yes.
it's a part of the culture. And I loved that. It's part of the creation of a character.
Very well said. And I know our Premier of Quebec, who wants everyone to speak French, will really appreciate it. So I'm going to wrap up with two last questions. Of course, we know you from so many iconic roles, but the two that stand out, first of all, is The Last Emperor. You had a big role in that.
Yes, it's a movie that I love very much still. I think it ages very well.
Yes. And the only thing that hasn't aged is you from that movie.
You flatter me.
And the other one, of course, is the cult classic, which is being shown here as we're filming today at the festival here, is Twin Peaks, which was a cult classic, and you had a big role there.
Yes, it was a wonderful experience. I think that was the only time my home was in Los Angeles at that time, and to be able to sleep in your own bed and also working, and usually that's not the case.
Yes.
Usually you go to some other cities.
Yes, exactly. And you played an interesting character.
Yeah, she's very intriguing.
What was her name again?
Josie Packard.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Josie Packard. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure to meet you, and we can't wait to see your next film.
Thank you so much.